Today, I'm going to talk about the case of Jaliek Rainwalker, a 12-year-old boy who vanished from his adoptive home in Greenwich, New York in 2007. This case has baffled investigators, captivated the public, and remained unsolved for 15 years. What happened to Jaliek Rainwalker? Was he a runaway, a victim of foul play, or something else? Jaliek Rainwalker was born on August 2, 1995 to a drug-addicted mother who gave him up for adoption shortly after his birth. He spent his early years in foster care, moving from one home to another and suffering from abuse and neglect. He was diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder, a condition that makes it hard to form emotional bonds with others. He also had violent outbursts, suicidal tendencies, and learning disabilities. He was adopted by Stephen Kerr and Jocelyn McDonald in 2003 when he was 8 years old. They lived in a farmhouse in Salem, New York, with their 4 other children. According to Kerr and McDonald, they tried to provide Jaliek with a loving and stable home, but he continued to struggle with his behavior and mental health issues. They claimed that he threatened to harm himself and his siblings and that he once killed a cat by throwing it off a bridge. They also said that he expressed a desire to return to his birth family and that they supported his wish. They hired a private investigator to locate his biological relatives, but they were unsuccessful. On November 1, 2007, Kerr took Jaliek out of school and drove him to his parents' house in Greenwich, about 25 miles away from their home in Salem. He said that he wanted to spend some time alone with Jaliek and that he planned to return him to his adoptive family the next day. He also said that Jaliek had been acting up lately and that he needed a break from the other children. That night, Kerr and Jaliek slept on an air mattress in the living room of the empty house. Kerr said that he woke up around 7:30 a.m. the next morning and found Jaliek gone. He said that he saw a note on the kitchen table written by Jaliek saying that he was sorry for everything and that he wouldn't be a bother anymore. He also said that he noticed that Jaliek had taken his backpack some clothes, $100 in cash, and a yellow fleece jacket. Kerr said that he wasn't alarmed by the note or Jaliek's disappearance. He thought that Jaliek had run away to find his birth family or to start a new life somewhere else. He said that he waited for about an hour before calling McDonald to tell her what happened. He also said that he drove around the area looking for Jaliek, but he didn't see him anywhere. He didn't call the police until around 9 a.m., almost 2 hours after he realized that Jaliek was missing. He told the police that Jaliek had run away before and that he would probably come back soon. He also gave them the note that Jaliek had allegedly left behind. The police launched a massive search for Jaliek, involving hundreds of volunteers, dogs, helicopters, boats, and divers. They searched the nearby woods, fields, rivers, ponds, bridges, roadsides, dumpsters, abandoned buildings, and railroad tracks. They also interviewed Kerr's neighbors, relatives, friends, co-workers, and acquaintances. They checked local bus stations, airports, hotels, shelters, hospitals, schools, libraries, and churches. They distributed flyers with Jaliek's photo and description all over the state and beyond. They also contacted Jaliek's biological family members in New York City and Vermont. But despite their efforts, they found no trace of Jaliek or any clues to his whereabouts. They also found no evidence that Jaliek had contacted anyone or used any transportation since his disappearance. They began to doubt Kerr's story and suspect foul play. The police noticed several inconsistencies and contradictions in Kerr's statements and actions. For example, Kerr refused to take a polygraph test or cooperate with the investigation. Kerr changed his phone number shortly after Jaliek's disappearance. Kerr cleaned the van that he used to transport Jaliek with bleach. Kerr sold the house in Greenwich, where he last saw Jaliek. Kerr moved out of state with his family. Kerr gave conflicting accounts of what happened on the night of November 1. Kerr gave different versions of what Jaliek was wearing when he disappeared. Kerr couldn't explain why Jaliek would leave behind his glasses and medication. Kerr couldn't provide any proof that Jaliek had ever expressed a desire to run away or find his birth family. Kerr couldn't identify any friends or contacts that Jaliek might have had outside his adoptive family. The police also questioned the authenticity of the note that Jaliek supposedly wrote. They compared it to Jaliek's previous writings and found some discrepancies in the handwriting, spelling, grammar, and tone. They also wondered why Jaliek would write such a vague and impersonal note, and why he would address it to everybody instead of his adoptive parents or siblings. They also wondered why Jaliek would write a note at all, instead of leaving a voice message or sending a text message. The police also interviewed Jaliek's teachers, classmates, counselors, and therapists. They learned that Jaliek was a smart, creative, and artistic boy who loved to read, draw, play chess, and make jokes. They also learned that Jaliek was unhappy and lonely in his adoptive home, and that he felt unwanted and unloved by Kerr and McDonald. They also learned that Jaliek had been abused and neglected by Kerr and McDonald, who often isolated him from his siblings, locked him in his room, denied him food and water, forced him to sleep on the floor, and beat him with a belt. The police also interviewed Barbara Reilly, Jaliek's adoptive grandmother and Kerr's mother. She told them that she loved Jaliek and treated him like her own grandson. She also told them that she was worried about Jaliek's safety and well-being in Kerr and McDonald's care. She said that she had witnessed Kerr and McDonald mistreat Jaliek on several occasions, and that she had tried to intervene but was ignored or rebuffed. She also said that she had urged Kerr and McDonald to get professional help for Jaliek, but they refused. She also said that she didn't believe that Jaliek had run away or written the note. She said that she believed that Kerr had killed Jaliek or disposed of his body. In 2012, the police reclassified Jaliek's disappearance as a presumed homicide. They named Kerr as a person of interest, but not a suspect. They said that they didn't have enough evidence to charge him with any crime or to obtain a search warrant for his property. They also said that they didn't have any other leads or suspects in the case. In 2018, Greenwich Police Chief George Bell, who had led the investigation since the beginning, died of cancer. He had vowed to find Jaliek and bring him justice before he passed away, but he was unable to do so. He was succeeded by Chief James Blanchfield, who promised to continue the search for Jaliek. In 2020, the police received a tip from an anonymous caller who claimed to have new information about Jaliek's disappearance. The caller said that he had seen Kerr dump something in the Hudson River near Troy on the night of November 1st, 2007. The caller said that he had been afraid to come forward until then because he feared for his life. The police followed up on the tip and searched the river with boats and divers. They also searched a nearby baseball field where Kerr used to play as a child. They hoped to find Jaliek's remains or any other evidence that might link Kerr to his disappearance. However, they came up empty-handed. The police said that they were still investigating the tip and its credibility. They also said that they were still pursuing other leads and tips that they received over the years. They said that they were still hopeful that they would find Jaliek or solve his case. The case of Jaliek Rainwalker remains open and active today. The police are still offering a $25,000 reward for any information that leads to his recovery or the arrest and conviction of anyone responsible for his disappearance. Jaliek's family, friends, supporters, and advocates are still holding out hope that he is alive and well somewhere in the world. They are still holding vigils, rallies, marches, petitions, fundraisers, and awareness campaigns for him. They're still wearing yellow ribbons, his favorite color, in his honor. They are still keeping his memory alive through social media, websites, podcasts, documentaries, books, songs, poems, paintings, sculptures, murals, quilts, and tattoos. They're still asking the same question: what happened to Jaliek Rainwalker? Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more mystery content. Also, please share your thoughts and theories on this case in the comments below. Do you think Jaliek is alive or dead? Do you think Kier is guilty or innocent? Do you think this case will ever be solved? Let me know what you think. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe.